Hi, and welcome back to another episode, dissecting the engine of my 1978 Mercedes-Benz 450 SL. In the last episode, I talked about spark plugs and what they do. They just light off the little flame that makes the whole thing explode and, turn. So in this episode, we'll talk about where it gets the electricity to do that. And that is actually from these things. And just get them out. This is the spark plug wiring harness, if you will. It comes out of a thing called a distributor, and it just has these little electrical wires that go onto here. And so, those empty holes that I showed you in the last episode? Well, with these, you put the spark plug on one end here, and you put the other end of the spark plug into that hole. So this basically goes onto that hole, and then where my finger is, there would be a spark plug, and it would go into the engine right here. So that's all this does. The really fun part about this is this thing. So you can see there are 8 leads, if you will, on the top of this that go to these 8 ones, and then there's the one in the center that comes off of somewhere else. What this is called a distributor cap, and this, I think, is honestly one of the coolest pieces of engineering in a car. It's not really used in modern cars. Nowadays, this job is handled mostly by computers, but back in the day when this car was made, it's 2021 now, this car is 43 years old. These things, you would have, this is the input, this comes straight through here to this. So an electrical current comes through here, an electrical charge, and it goes to these. You can kind of see it. There are little metal bits on there. And those correspond to each of these. So what you have here is there's a rotor, a little spinny thing that goes around, and it is always connected to this. But then, so it's like this, right? And it just goes around, and it connects. It's only connected to these two, and then disconnects, and it connects to these two, and then these two, and these two, and these two, and so on and so forth. Which completes an electrical circuit here, so that only one of these has a charge going through it at any given time. And that, in combination with the valves that I've talked about earlier that bring in air and gas into the cylinders, in combination with that, these tell the spark plugs when to light off. And with that, when that happens, then the mixture explodes and pushes the cylinder, or pushes the piston, rather. And I can actually go grab that thing and I can show it to you. Although obviously you won't be able to see inside of the thing when it's spinning. But I'll go grab that and I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back and I have the thing. This is the distributor rotor. It's connected to something else. So here, I'll put that in. But what this does, I'm gonna bring the camera closer. That out like that. This thing, you can see there's a little bit of metal here and there's a little metal here. It just spins around and actually twist this in the bottom, and that thing spins and it connects to each of the things in here. So this is what I was talking about, where it completes the circuit. The little metal bit goes through a metal bar on the inside and connects through here. And it only ever connects to one of those at a time. One of those at a time. And that spinning is what tells the spark plugs when to fire. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Again, like everything else, it's a very simple thing that just takes one input and puts it out somewhere else. Although this does it in a really special and cool way. And frankly, it's one of my favorite systems on the car, or at least in the engine. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a good day. See you guys later.